Hello, my name's Rob and welcome to Swift Slots. So a few weeks ago I started a new build for this channel and it'll be aired a few days after this one goes up. And a couple of days ago I got ready to start painting. And I got it all prepared and got my primer on, and it suddenly occurred to me that this is going to take a long time to paint. Between the primers and the top coats and the varnishes and the water slides, I could be looking at another 2 weeks, and that's not really going to work when I want to put up fairly regular content, and you don't want to wait another 2 weeks for a new project to go up. So I needed to get the paint sorted out a little bit quicker. And on my favourite paint channel, Barbatos Rex, mentioned about a machine that dries paint quicker. And I didn't really take a lot of notice until now, when I feel like I probably need to know. So I went on his channel and found out all the information that I needed for that particular machine. Went on to some UK websites, including eBay, and found the exact machine that he uses. It's not the same colour, it's got 6 shelves instead of 9, and the make on the top of the machine is different. Other than that, it's exactly the same thing. Same mouldings, the same drawer shape, the same everything. So I had a look around on the UK websites and I found that eBay was selling them for about £75 delivered, and Appliances Direct were also selling them for £5 more. But on Appliances Direct, you could actually pick the date that it's going to be delivered. Now, I needed it a couple of days ago and I'm still probably 2 weeks worth of painting ahead of me. So I needed to get it quickly to cut that 2 weeks right the way down. So today was the day the machine turned up. Over the weekend, within 3 days of ordering it. I ordered it on a Friday, turned up on the Monday, so you can't fault that. And as we know, eBay sellers can be a bit optimistic with their delivery times. Yeah, I would rather go with a proper business that says it will be delivered now. And it was, it's just turned up. So I'd like to show you what I've got. And here it is. They're called food dehydrators. And the idea is you put sliced banana and sliced tomatoes and what have you in the shelves that are in here, and set the time or duration of run time, set the heat, turn it on and let it go. They work great for paintwork by all accounts. But I trust Barbatos Rex, he knows what he's talking about. So what we got here is we've got a sliding front door and we have a whole series of trays that just pull out completely, and they're see-through, they're completely empty. So we can take all the trays out and create a very nice large space inside for putting models. Now I leave the bottom one in place there, and by the time you've left the bottom one in place, for example, although you can go lower, you've got about 8 inches of height, you've got about 10 inches of width, and you've got about 13 inches of depth. So that's about 330 deep by 200 high by approximately 280 wide mil. And on the top we've got the on button, then we've got a button for time of running with a plus and minus, and then you've got a button for heat with a plus and minus. And all you do is you turn them on, you set the amount of time you want to run it for, and you set the amount of heat you want to run it for, and away you go. So Barbatos Rex does a really good video on this exact machine, albeit with the 9 drawers, and so I won't go through that. I'll put the links in the description below of both of his videos that refer to this machine, and also the link to Appliances Direct, where I bought this machine from. Again, it's about £5 more expensive than the cheapest place on eBay, but you know, eBay has its problems, and this did indeed turn up on time, so that's really good. So by all accounts, enamel paints take up to 2 weeks to dry properly. I mean, you can cut some corners, but basically it's 2 weeks for it to be fully hardened and cured. And water paints and other paints can take around 2 days to be fully dry. Things like Tamiya's and lacquer paints and so on. So with this machine, we'll actually do it in 12 hours, overnight basically. And you want to set the temperature to around 100, there or thereabouts. I think it's about 40, I think. And around about 4 hours to 12 hours will do the job. But I mean, most people say overnight is really good. So that'll do. And just to give you an idea of how big this is in regards to a slot car, here's a slot car box. So it's absolutely ginormous compared to a slot car box. And we can see in terms of a tray, it's huge for what we need it for slot cars. Now I understand that there are a lot of painting guys out there that already know about these, but I've been modelling all my life, the last 30 years of that being professionally, and I never knew about these. But then professionally, I've never needed to speed dry anything, only up till now when I'm making YouTube content and I need to get content out quicker than I would normally make my models. That's when I've needed this. So a lot of you guys might not know about it. So I'm just sharing that knowledge with you because it's really useful to know. So if you're really, really impatient, I used to be super impatient for paint work and I couldn't leave it alone 2 seconds. When the paint had gone down, I was touching it. It was a nightmare. I'm a bit better now, but it was a problem. So for you guys that are super impatient and you don't mind spending 80 quid, this would be the ideal answer. Now you can also get these in a stackable round format. And the way that I can tell from those is that each tray makes up a layer and then you put the lid on top. So the lid, the height of the machine is dependent on how many trays you put in. And I've been looking at those and they are quite a lot cheaper. You can get those for about £40. But I was thinking, how can you circumnavigate the fact that you've only got very, very low trays? I thought, well, what you can do is you could actually cut out this framework, this mesh, so that each time you stack a layer on, you're actually creating a taller space but not putting the mesh in. And then if you want to put mesh in there, you can always go down to your ironmonger, buy some of that 5mm galvanized mesh, or any mesh to be fair, and you could actually insert your wire mesh in there. So you could actually create your height using what are effectively empty trays with nothing in them, because you've cut all the mesh out, and then put your mesh in where you want it. So that means you could use a £40 machine, or 35 or whatever they are, cheaper, for a lot less money. You could use that and get exactly the same result as one of these. I just didn't fancy chopping it around and so on, and I'd just rather pay the extra money and have a nice machine. But the machine itself is very, very light. There's not a lot of weight to it. You've got a big fan in the back of it there, which is blowing. And also on the back, you'll see that you've got a straight input for the air. Now again, on Barbatos Rex's website, he shows you how to put a filter over there so you don't suck in particulates from the air. So that's probably what I'll do here, which is just put a lightweight filter on the back of that, and away you go. So there we are. So that's that. I hope that's been of use to somebody. So like I said, all the information that I found on the food dehydrator are in the links below. That's the 2 YouTube videos from Barbatos Rex and the Appliances Direct website. So with my machine now, I can really crack on, get this painting finished, and I can upload the new video to you guys in a couple of days' time. So hopefully this information was useful to you and you might feel inclined to subscribe. And if you do, maybe you could hit the little bell. That would be awesome. Thank you very much.